Super Bowl 46, done the Indianapolis way, will be bigger, grander, and more exciting than any before it. But what will be its lasting legacy? How about the dream of remaking an entire urban neighborhood?
Well, I think we have raised the bar for other cities.
We've come out of the darkness into the light.
It's happening faster and maybe at a bigger level because of the excitement of the Super Bowl.
It's more than a game. It's about building a better city.
Super Bowl 46 will be played in Indianapolis.
He bought us a brand new stadium, and now he's bought us the opportunity to host the 2012 Super Bowl.
We put the East Side neighborhood in that planning.
Super Bowl 2012, baby, we got it!
More than a game, the Indy Super Bowl legacy is made possible by Citizens Energy Group, dedicated to raising the quality of life in the Indianapolis community, and a proud supporter of the Super Bowl Legacy Project. Information at citizensenergygroup.com.
You just look at all of this amazing work, and it's just amazing at the power of a single game. And I wish that we could have this much civic pride, every single year that we could do things like this and totally transform parts of town.
It's a good question. You could ask why we aren't all energized about it every day for the last 20 years. You could ask how we let neighborhoods decline the way they have. And, I don't really know. I just know it happened, and it's not acceptable.
Now you have the city's passion to put its best foot forward for the Super Bowl on the one hand, and the pride to make Indianapolis the best it can be every day on the other. This is a story of how these two ideas came together, oddly enough, because of an opportunity that arose after one of the most disappointing days in city history. May 23, 2007, Indianapolis loses to Dallas as the host of Super Bowl 45. Work begins immediately on a new bid for Super Bowl 46, more determined, more daring, and in classic Indianapolis style.
We always try to think out of the box. The leadership in volunteers and in staff always feels like we need to be leading the sports industry. And ever since the 1982 Sports Festival and the 1987 Pan Am Games, we've always pushed ourselves to the edge and said, can we do this?
So we've got a history of thinking we got to make sure that when we excite the community and rally resources and focus on a big, exciting event, we do something meaningful beyond the event. That's our DNA.
It's called the Legacy Project. And since 1992, NFL charities have given Super Bowl host cities $1 million as a matching grant to help build or renovate a youth education town in an underserved community. And that's what got the Indianapolis DNA working overtime. Those funds could be leveraged in a bigger, better way than before, but how?
We use social media and other communications avenues to kind of say to the Indianapolis metropolitan area, hey, we want to do something meaningful. Give us your thoughts. Nominate ideas.
Bill Taft of the Local Initiative Support Corporation thought he had a good one. His organization had just finished guiding residents from low-income urban areas to create long-range plans to improve the quality of life in their neighborhoods. Why not take one of these game plans and bring it to life?
I sent him an email out of the blue and said, this is a concept. It makes a lot of sense to me based on what you've been saying you're looking for, that adopting one of these neighborhoods would be a perfect legacy project. And so, it was one of those nothing ventured, nothing gained ideas. And I got an email back from him in a few hours that actually that said, can you meet Saturday morning at Starbucks downtown? Let's talk about it.
Maybe, it's a stretch, but maybe the same excitement that will fuel the effort to organize the Super Bowl could be broadened into getting the greater community to help the people in a particular neighborhood help themselves.
In sports, you call them intangibles. And when building a team, you look for that spark, that spirit, that transcends ability alone. To Mark Miles and company, one community stood out when it came to facing their challenges head on. And it seemed like a place where a little help could do a lot of good.
I can't tell you exactly what it is that brings people out, but there's just a sense of work ethic in this community that we're going to pull each other up and make this a great place to live that you don't see everywhere.
They dedicate a lot of their time to making this a better place to live, just to get better people to move in and to stay and to make, our houses are really cool, old, historic houses.
This wall is entirely new. All of the lights and fixtures on the inside of this bathroom are all new.
This is a tear-jerking moment because of getting my house fixed. It's like a blessing. I give to the community, and now it's given to me.
These are opportunities for them who don't have a lot to receive from those of us that we've done okay, and it's our chance to give back and do a little bit for the community.
Nearly 40,000 residents live in Indianapolis near East Side, grouped into 20 different neighborhoods ranging from the bungalows of Little Flower to the stately old mansions of Woodruff Place. Once it was home to industrial workers living on the industrial side of town, walking to work in the shadows of factories that put food on the table. But businesses moved out. To say that tough times moved in would be an understatement.
In parts of 2004, the zip code around our community center actually led the nation in the rate of home foreclosure. Nearly 1 in 4 homes were foreclosed upon.
You see a house sitting empty, it isn't very long until a dope dealer has moved in there. He's dealing drugs out the back door. And that's what comes on when you have abandoned housing.
Ruth Shaw always thought of herself as shy, never an advocate, let alone a fighter. That all changed when she and her husband moved into this house in 1975.
We started having things stolen. It wasn't nailed down, it was gone. And my husband and a few others talking about setting up with their guns. I thought, we can't let that happen.
There's actually been millions of dollars put in this neighborhood in real estate development over the last 12 years. And you're seeing a lot of the investors right out here because you've bought into this neighborhood.
When we first come down here, it was a fight. It was a fight to protect your property. Our house here actually got broken in twice, no, 3 times.
Pat Dubois left a 30-year career in the banking side of the steel industry to live in the Holy Cross neighborhood. He calls himself part business developer, part social worker, as he builds homes on the Near East Side, a calling which, to his surprise, found him sleeping in half-completed projects, holding onto his cell phone and a baseball bat to ward off thefts.
One of the guys came up to me on the street and thought I was crazy for coming down here, but I had to tell him, I mean, don't underestimate me. I'm willing to die for what we're doing here. And I think it almost takes people like that.
I think everybody that's here and involved in the improvements on the east side do have some sort of shared vision of a better place to live where everybody, no matter what their color or their religion or sexuality, no matter what makes us different, the Near East Side is finding a way to look at that as a strength.
When you move in here, it's kind of catching. If you weren't that kind of person before, if you're the kind of person that does like to do things good, you kind of catch that of what the Near East Side have got, that, hey, what can we do to make it better?
We care about each other or we're doomed to failure. So you see a need and you find ways to fit yourself in there.
I feel so much more alive since I live down here because life is messy. But people here get involved. They roll up their sleeves and we work through issues.
But nothing in the trials of daily life could have prepared the neighborhood for the horror which happened in 2006 on Hamilton Avenue. 7 people, including 3 children, murdered, leaving a grieving community with more questions than answers. In 2008, a detailed plan gets underway to help the community move away from the past and keep progressing forward. Driven by Bill Taft's Local Initiatives Support Corporation, a visioning event is held by staff of the John H. Bonner Center as part of the Great Indy Neighborhoods Initiative. As James Taylor, Executive Director of the Bonner Center, recalls it, the event nearly took his breath away.
I remember going up onto the upper deck overlooking the gymnasium at Tech High School, in which we had over 430 neighborhood residents actually turn out for this visioning event, and that was the start of the Quality of Life Plan.
Did you say 430?
430. And it just spoke to the, the desire of the neighborhood, the commitment of people to this neighborhood to regain control of our own destiny.
We were worried about how it would work because people have gotten so discouraged because they've been told no so many times. We had 400 residents there, which makes you know for sure these residents still care, and you give them a chance.
A chance because of the Near East Side Quality of Life Plan, a 43-page document, 150 areas where the neighborhood hoped, no, demanded that things be better. And that was when the Super Bowl host committee knew they had a partner. When team owners opened the bid, they saw something unprecedented. Indianapolis had once again shown the league its flair for the unorthodox. Not only would the city build a youth education town, it would use the power of the Super Bowl to build or restore 200 nearby homes, create a commercial corridor along East 10th Street, and promote the Near East Side as a place to live and work. All of it done before February 2012.
The NFL said to us, we've never done anything like that, and are you sure you want that strategy? And we said, yes, it's important to us.
I would say this is one of the riskier things they could have selected as the legacy of hosting the Super Bowl. And it's also, I think, one of the greatest rewards they could have picked.
I think what makes it unique is its scale. It really seeks to be the beginning of the complete turnaround of a historic neighborhood in this city.
Super Bowl 46 will be played on February 5th, 2012, will be played in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is a brand new host city for Super Bowl. So Indianapolis gets the advantage of being able to kind of invent their own Super Bowl. You've never done it before? Let's do it our way. And I think that's what people are going to see here in Indianapolis. They're going to see it done the Indianapolis way.
So let's do things the Indianapolis way and let the transformation begin. Starting with a $4 million project and a dramatic change that's taking place right across the street from the Bonner Center. Take me back before this was built and how you used to feel looking out over here to the Jefferson Apartments today.
The Jefferson Apartments, this building in particular, was one that was identified in the Quality of Life Plan as a potential place for redevelopment, and there were things that were happening in this building that we didn't want to encourage. So the Bonner Center actually developed that, and now it's 18 affordable rentals and 2 condos that have sold. And it's a place that's a homeownership incubator. So the Bonner Center works with people who are living here to get them back on their feet financially and hopefully transition to homeownership.
Last year when the Jefferson Apartments building opened, it puts into perspective the countless hours and time spent, planning and the emails and text messages late at night and stepping through all of the challenges that invariably come with every project. That was for us that moment of saying, okay, we get it now. We get how important it is.
There are now rain gardens on the Near East Side that will help clean the stormwater. There's also the first green alleys in the city in the St. Clair Place neighborhood, which is a big component of the Legacy Project.
It seems like Indianapolis is just taking everything just one step beyond, like want to blow the nation's mind and say this is what can be done when the community comes together.
I think it's fun. The Near East Side really has been green before green was cool. And this is another example of, we're going to rehab an old building, we're going to create something that is going to provide a place for people to live, but we're also going to do it in a way that is using the most cutting edge practices that we can. Our neighborhood's been here for over 100 years, 150 years, and as we look toward the next 150 years, we really want to be leading the way.
How did the community get that type of mentality?
I wish I knew, because it'd be great to replicate everywhere. This house behind me, I'm so excited about. We bought this for $2,500 from the city's land bank. So it went through tax foreclosure. They cleared all the messy title work. We bought it for $2,500 and now they just started work this week. They're ripping off that aluminum siding and I love the teal wood underneath. It's just so exciting.
Brad Bobian's Ball State architecture students sketched some of the original plans that appeared in the Quality of Life Plan. He says the approach taken by the Legacy Project is something new.
The old way is, what we call urban renewal, and that's basically when we came with a bulldozer and started from scratch. We turned a neighborhood with lots of social and cultural amenities, and we turned it into a green field, basically a cornfield, and we started over. And we learned that doesn't work.
As I look around and see a lot of work, you see the contractors, the hard hats and everything, why not just knock these things down and start from scratch?
I think that's a great question, and one that a lot of people think. When you drive down the street and you see so many vacant and abandoned homes, your instinct is to think, we should just tear those all down and start over. But I think what we believe and what our neighbors believe is that these are assets and they have a story to tell, and they're a piece of what makes this neighborhood great.
The new way of neighborhood revitalization starts with the community. It starts with the assets who are there, the people that have been fighting for that neighborhood for 40 years. Why would you kick those people out?
We're standing on the side of St. Clair Senior Apartments, and this is a project that Indy East Asset Development is co-developing with Riley Area Development Corporation. This will be 33 units of housing for seniors. A lot of folks who still live in the neighborhood, who've lived here about 30, 40, 50 years, are reaching the point in their lives where maintaining a single-family home isn't something they can do anymore, and we don't want to lose them.
The people that have lived here for years, that have kind of been victims of people moving out, they're rock solid. And so then you bring in people that might have a passion. A lot of the younger people now, they want something different. I think we have a window with the awareness of what richness, diversity brings.
Tell me about what will this new home do for property value?
It's a great point. We are working in a neighborhood where the market hasn't been working or hasn't been working well. Now we're able to put money into these homes and refurbish them to sell tenfold or more than tenfold. Hopefully we'll have a family moving in here within a month.
You also want people to shop here. That's phase 2 of the Legacy Project, the revitalization of the near East 10th Street business corridor. That's already underway with businesses like Little Green Bean Boutique, Made for Each Other Community Art Space, and Pogue's Run.
We literally have many families that are relying on convenience stores and drugstores to meet the nutritional needs of their family. And for the better part of a decade, we begged the major chains to consider opening up in our community. Come back to our neighborhood. Please open a store. We need you here. Well, through the Quality of Life Plan, neighborhood residents determined, you know what? I think we can do this ourselves.
I think it's really important for it to be local. Gives you a sense of ownership, gives you a sense of pride. We always talk about, I would support this, I would support something local, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of put your money where your mouth is. Because we say a lot more with the dollars than we do with a lot of other things.
We were one of the early funders of the Pogue's Run brochure. As a funder, it's a level of intimacy with your partners that are operating that I had never had before.
Oftentimes, those with resources come into a distressed situation, a hardscrabble neighborhood, and think about what they can supply, what solutions and money that they can bring to improve the condition. It's a well-intended behavior. What we've found is that too often those two partners don't connect, that these are disconnected conversations.
And so many times we see that in our business anyway, where yes, we're going to form a plan, and then that plan sits on the shelf. I knew the Near East Side wasn't that way, and because they are passionate about the work they are doing, and they have great goals and plans for their neighborhood.
We wanted them to understand our view would be we're going to try to help them do what they think needs to be done, not take over.
We're really trying to bring it back alive with what's here. As we talk, gentrification, it's such a fine line. I mean, no one wants to see that the core of this neighborhood changes.
But it's not about gentrification. It's about all kinds of neighborhoods that all kinds of people want to live in together.
We don't want to be another Bronnerville. We're East 10th Street.
The most visible part of the Legacy Project will be here on the campus of Arsenal Technical High School. The $11 million Chase Near East Side Legacy Center will offer programs to kids and families provided by 12 community partners. a welcome addition to a neighborhood without a Y or Boys and Girls Club.
I think it's going to be something of a mecca for these people in this part of town. I think they're going to take advantage of it. I think it's going to add to the quality of life in this particular neighborhood.
We want to see our kids ready to enter the world of work and life, and that means socially, psychologically, physically, academically, vocationally, emotionally. We want them to be ready, and we're going to do it better than we ever have before because of this opportunity.
Dr. White said the youth educational town will be completed before the
Yes.
Super Bowl. How exciting is that to you?
It's really exciting. We are the first city to receive an NFL youth education town and actually be open by the Super Bowl. It's not just about the legacy, we're also making history.
Do the kids in the community realize how big this project is for them?
Well, they might not yet, but they will for sure.
We asked students from the Canon Multimedia class of student publications at Tech to put together a piece about their perspectives on the Chase Near East Side Legacy Center, as only today's tech-savvy kids can, pun intended.
So just what is going on Arsenal Tech's campus?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's going on? Arsenal Tech High School is the site of the new $11.2 million Chase Near East Side Legacy Center, also known as the NFL's Youth Education Town, or the YET. The groundbreaking for this center, which was supposed to put a fun twist on learning, was held November 15th. The YET will hold after-school programs and classes and be a resource and much more to Tech students during and after school. Here at Arsenal Technical High School, students have many academic options during the school day in order to get a good education. But what about after school? What do the students do then? Students stay after school because they have nowhere else to go. They hang around campus or go to nearby stores and restaurants like Subway. But why do they? Is it because they really have nowhere else to go? Or because this is their favorite hangout?
Alright, so when I stay after school, I usually hang out in my teacher's classes and ask for help on homework or just chill in there with them because, you know, my teachers are cool and all that stuff. So we have fun, do homework, and do whatever else we want to do.
I would like to see a computer lab and things to keep students busy after school.
What in the world is the YET? Who comes up with these names? I don't know what it is, but I know what's inside it because I have the inside scoop. Art.
Fit.
Music. IUPUI's grads and undergraduates will run the fitness side of the center, and 12 community partners are offering recreational opportunities like yoga, art classes, and even a kitchen on the other side. But why a kitchen in a community center? Because everyone loves food and everyone wants it. I can prove it.
Computers, definitely. Food, game room, I guess.
Food.
Somewhere to just chill. Food.
Even though Tech won't be the site of the NFC practice facility, Tech Titans will still get a piece of the action when in the fall of 2012, the NFC practice field will still be moved to Tech Stadium.
First and foremost, it's to serve the kids, A, on this campus, and B, on the near east side. I would say, as students, if you feel strongly that we need something, or that you're missing something on this campus, we would love to hear it.
Basically somewhere that like people can go to instead of like standing around school, after school, walking around. Somewhere they can just go and have fun.
Construction for the YET is just beginning. We've told you what we want, but what do you want? Now's the time for your voice, your input to be heard. You are the community. This center is for you. Make it what you want.
But that's how it should be, isn't it? For the Super Bowl Legacy Project isn't the end, it's just the beginning.
Well, there's no question in my 30 years of doing major events in all places in the world that the Legacy Project is my favorite thing I've ever worked on. And it goes back to the people. They have heart and energy to no end. And they, as progress has continued, I keep thinking maybe they're going to run out of energy, but it's just continued to energize everyone the more that gets done.
So I have a great sense of pride for what is happening there. But I think for us it's exciting, and perhaps more exciting, to see the sense of pride that's coming about. Hearing residents yell from their porches, "Thank you for not giving up on our neighborhood."
So often being here, pioneer for here so long, that there's been kind of all this darkness, and you really didn't want to even associate yourself with being on the Near East Side. But with the legacy, I guess, putting more of a spotlight in the Near East Side has helped us come into the light.
For the East Side, as a general statement, it's really going to take us to the next level of development. Not only bricks and mortar, but on the development of the residents.
It has given us the spotlight and a bullhorn for a community that we would have never had. I mean, how can you not use the word Super Bowl and catch people's attention?
It is exciting to see how many shoulders can go against the wheel to move it faster. And I think that's really the distinctive of the Legacy Initiative. And frankly, there's a lot of new creativity that comes to the table and things change.
We'll never say the neighborhood's done, but the amount of progress is substantial.
So I think we're learning two things in the Indianapolis Super Bowl Legacy Project in regard to making Indianapolis a better city. One is it takes a lot of money. This is a $100 million effort, and the work won't be done. So we know that it isn't about money. That's an important part of the equation, but you're not done with financial investment. What we're learning from the Near East Side project is that it takes dynamic partnership, and it takes a smart strategy. And I think those process points are replicable to other neighborhoods in Indianapolis.
Well, we've been investing in the Near East Side since 2008, before it was a legacy project. And we will be in the neighborhood after the Super Bowl because we believe in the leadership and the plan and the activity that's happening. And those needs don't go away when the Super Bowl leaves town.
Everything starts on the local level. I mean, if we can change neighborhoods here, if we can change people's perspective on how you view your neighbor on this level, then we can do it on a regional level. Then we can do it, I mean, it's got to start somewhere, so why not here?
I can go down the street and actually see physically that something is happening. That's a feeling I don't think I could really put into words. It's just wonderful. It's great to see my community actually getting some help.
One of our neighborhood residents probably summed it up best. She said, we wanted to make sure that folks that were in our community in the worst of times had an opportunity to remain in our community in the best of times.
I think every day that we came to the conclusion as a group that we might be able to make a difference in a neighborhood.
More than a game, the Indy Super Bowl Legacy is made possible by Citizens Energy Group, dedicated to raising the quality of life in the Indianapolis community, and a proud supporter of the Super Bowl Legacy Project. Information at citizensenergygroup.com.